In this video, I want to talk about what to do with division with remainders. How do we deal with things that are left over? There are many situations in which the objects do not divide equally without any leftovers, so children need to be able to deal with remainders. And children can solve the problems with remainders using the strategies that we've already discussed, and problems with remainders are not a great deal more difficult than problems without remainders. However, when solving these problems with remainders, we must take into account how the remainder relates to the problem. The context of the problem will generally dictate how the remainder is treated in answering the question. And there are 4 different ways this may happen. So let's look at examples of each of these. 20 people are going to a movie. 6 people can ride in each car. How many cars are needed to get all 20 people to the movie? For this one, if we try to group these people into cars, so 6 people per car, I have these little squares for the cars and circles for the people, I can see that I have 18 and then 2 left over. So we would have to involve an extra car for the 2 people left over. So how many cars are needed to get all 20 people? We would need 4 cars in this case. This is the first way we may have to deal with a remainder. We may have to include an extra group for those that are left over. Another type of remainder problem, it takes 3 eggs to make a cake. How many cakes can you make with 17 eggs? Well, if we start doing cakes, this one will take 3. We're now up to 6, 9, 12, 15, and then we have 2 left over. So in this case, we would have a total of 5 cakes, and we would just ignore the remainder. From the context of this problem, it's clear that only 5 cakes can be made. So a child may either ignore the remainder or suggest that the 2 eggs can be put back in the refrigerator for later. A third possibility is the remainder is the actual answer to the problem. As an example, a store has 26 basketballs, which they want to pack in boxes so that there are 3 balls in each box. If they fill as many boxes as possible, how many balls will be left over? So here's a box with 3. We have 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and then there are 2 left over. So the solution would be 2. So the third type would be in the case where we actually want to know how many are left over. The fourth and final possibility of what to do with leftover is that the answer actually includes a fractional part. As an example, Miss Baker has 13 packages of clay that are all the same size. She wants 4 children to share the clay so that everyone gets the same amount. How much clay should each child get? Well, we have 4 children, and 13 packages. So each child could get 3 packages, and that accounts for 12. We have 1 package left over that we could then break into 4ths, and each child could get a piece. So the answer would be that each child would get 3 1/4. These problems can provide the basis for developing basic concepts of fractions and fraction equivalences, and this is something that we'll discuss more later in the class, is these fractional type problems.